One of the cruelest diseases I have witnessed, and I'm sure you have too, is dementia. As of 2021, approximately 57 million people worldwide are living with dementia. It primarily affects individuals over the age of 65, and considering global demographic distributions, it's reasonable to assume that the majority of these 57 million people with dementia are adults over the age of 50. In America, it affects nearly 1 in 10 adults who are over the age of 65. Causes of different dementias vary. A 2020 report from a Lancet Commission identified several modifiable risk factors. These factors together account for around 40% of dementia cases worldwide. Judith Heidebrink, MD, a neurologist at the University of Michigan Health and co-leader of the Michigan Alzheimer's Disease Research Center's clinical core, said this means that many dementia cases might be prevented or delayed by living a healthy lifestyle. With the Lancet findings as an anchor, Dr. Heidebrink was joined by fellow neurologist and centre director, Dr. Paulson, MD. Together, they've now shared how you can reduce your risk of dementia. Following these 10 tips will help you maintain your brain health throughout your life. Their recommendations come by way of 10 simple guidelines. The first of these is to monitor your blood pressure, something that's now fairly straightforward. At-home blood pressure monitors are fairly cheap and also easy to come by. The recommendation here is to aim for a systolic blood pressure of 130 millimeters of mercury, or mmHg, or lower in midlife. That's around 40 years of age. And research has shown that better control of your blood pressure during midlife not only reduces the risk of cognitive impairment and dementia, but also of stroke, and more specifically, ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. Also, lower blood pressure means less strain on the arteries and the heart muscle. This in turn reduces the risk of coronary artery disease, heart failure, and myocardial infarction. Now, a myocardial infarction is a medical term for a heart attack. High blood pressure is a major contributor to kidney disease. Controlling your blood pressure helps preserve kidney function and slows the progression of CKD in older adults. According to a 2023 study published in BMC Nephrology in 2017, more than 1.2 million deaths worldwide were attributed to CKD, that's chronic kidney disease. And a 2022 article in Nature Reviews Nephrology indicated that global mortality from all kidney diseases likely ranges between 5 million and 11 million deaths per year. The broader estimate includes deaths from both chronic and also acute kidney conditions. Lower systolic blood pressure also helps protect the delicate blood vessels in your eyes, reducing the risk of age-related vision problems, including hypertensive retinopathy. Hypertensive retinopathy is damage to the retina. That's the light-sensitive layer at the back of your eye. Now, there are no symptoms in the early stages, which is why regular eye exams are very important if you have high blood pressure. But in more advanced stages, people may experience blurred vision, double vision, headaches, and in severe cases, sudden vision loss. But how do you lower your blood pressure? First of all, you can start eating a heart-healthy whole food diet, and also aim for about 30 minutes of moderate exercise, like brisk walking, at least 5 days per week. Also consider strength training too. Aim for at least 2, if not 3 or more sessions a week. Another factor to consider is your body weight. The closer you can get to normal body fat percentage, the better. Also try to drink alcohol in moderation. The guidelines are 2 drinks a day for men and 1 for women. Now, if like me, you're over the age of 50 and you're looking to extend your health span and your lifespan too, 14 drinks a week should be far too much. And there's a no-brainer of smoking. Smoking temporarily spikes blood pressure, so quitting or cutting down will certainly result in huge benefits. And that is for both your blood pressure and your overall cardiovascular health. And if you're prescribed medications, make sure that you take them as prescribed. Also make sure that if you're taking steps to lower your blood pressure, that your doctor does check your blood pressure regularly, and if it's safe, they should take you off the medications as soon as possible. Now, the second recommendation is to protect your hearing. Here the doctors say you should be sure to wear ear protection when you're around loud, excessive noise. This will reduce your risk of hearing loss. Also, use hearing aids when they are needed. A recent study found that older adults who needed a hearing aid for newly diagnosed hearing loss had a lower risk of dementia in the following 3 years. Now, wireless earbuds have made wearing in-ear devices more mainstream, blending seamlessly in now to everyday tech fashion. And as a result, hearing aids now resemble trendy audio gear, reducing the social stigma that was once associated with them. This shift has empowered more people to seek hearing assistance without the fear of judgment or embarrassment. Dr. Heidebrink then highlights the growing body of evidence linking air pollution, such as gases, small particles emitted by cars and factories, to cognitive decline and also dementia. Recent studies imply that sustained improvements in air quality can significantly reduce the risk of developing dementia, likely by minimizing long-term exposure to harmful pollutants. Cleaner air has been linked to better cognitive health, particularly in older adults. However, despite these environmental gains, in some regions, global dementia rates, unfortunately, continue to rise. This increase is largely driven by aging populations, lifestyle factors, and unequal access to healthcare and also pollution control worldwide. Dr. Paulson then addresses head injuries, saying physical damage to the brain, including traumatic brain injury, can disrupt normal brain function. The recommendation here is to wear proper protective equipment when playing sports and also activities like riding a bike. Always wear a seatbelt when you're in the car and see a physician right away if you have concerns about concussion or TBI, which is traumatic brain injury. Sticking with the brain, the next two are no-brainers. Scientific research has shown that reducing or eliminating alcohol consumption can lower the risk of developing dementia, particularly alcohol-related and early onset types. Excessive alcohol intake has been linked to brain atrophy, impaired cognitive function, and increased inflammation, all of which contribute to dementia. By cutting back, individuals may preserve brain volume and support better long-term memory and also executive function. These benefits are especially pronounced in older adults, where even moderate drinking has been associated with subtle cognitive decline over time. And the next obvious suspect is smoking. Studies have consistently shown that reducing or stopping smoking significantly lowers the risk of developing dementia. Smoking accelerates vascular damage and also oxidative stress in the brain, both of which are key contributors to cognitive decline. Quitting smoking improves blood flow and reduces inflammation, helping to protect your brain cells and maintain cognitive function. Indeed, former smokers who quit later in life still show a reduced risk of dementia when compared to those who continued to smoke. The next factor revolves around the mantra of use it or lose it. Dr. Paulson talks about the importance of remaining cognitively engaged. People with more formal education are at lower risk of dementia than those who've got fewer years of formal education. This is because keeping your brain cognitively engaged helps maintain your brain health. Now, there's a number of ways that you can stay cognitively engaged. You could consider college classes or even online learning. Think about learning a new language or exploring new skills. These will help strengthen your neural connections and support your overall brain health. Also, activities like puzzles, chess, or strategy games, anything to challenge your memory and also your problem-solving abilities. These will all help to keep your mind sharp. Also consider reading, writing, or engaging in meaningful discussions. Again, all these will help stimulate critical thinking and also your comprehension. Even creative hobbies like playing musical instruments or even painting. All of these types of activities will help to enhance mental flexibility and cognitive resilience over time. From a personal perspective, my longevity experiment has definitely pushed me to look at things that I know many of my unofficial control group would never entertain. Things like reading longevity articles and having to research the meaning of words and phrases that I don't instantly understand. Even running a YouTube channel. Things like learning how to set up cameras, using microphones, learning about editing software, making thumbnails, etc. And more recently, diving into the world of AI. Moving on to the seventh factor and dementia. Here, Dr. Paulson talks about brain healthy diets. But what is meant by a brain healthy diet? He says that a good rule of thumb is if it's good for your heart, it's also good for your brain. Eating a well-rounded diet full of fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, such as those found in the Mediterranean diet, can help maintain a healthy weight and mitigate the risk of obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and also diabetes, which are all known to contribute to dementia in later life. Now, many people espouse the benefits of the Mediterranean diet, but as I mentioned in previous videos, there isn't just one Mediterranean diet when it comes to the type of food. The constant when it comes to the content of the diet is that overwhelmingly it contains whole food. People who live in the Mediterranean region and eat the standard American diet will succumb to all the same metabolic conditions and diseases of aging as those in the West who choose processed and ultra-processed foods over whole foods. For a heart-healthy and brain-healthy diet, follow a diet that excludes or minimizes the inclusion of ultra-processed and processed foods. Now, this can be vegan at one end of the spectrum or carnivore at the other, and obviously anything else in between. The next, if asked, would probably be on most people's healthy lifestyle list, and that's maintaining a regular exercise routine. The guidelines state around 150 minutes of moderate to intense physical activity throughout your week. This will help you to maintain good cardiovascular health and also to ward off dementia. You really only need between 20 and 30 minutes a day. People often forget how important simple aerobic exercise is for the brain. A brisk 30-minute walk or stint on a stationary bike 3 or 4 times a week will suffice, and it will make a huge difference. With the right attitude, I'm pretty sure most people can find 30 minutes somewhere in their day to have some kind of brisk walk. The next factor, which is one very close to my heart, is sleep. Not just getting 7 or 8 hours a night, but overall healthy sleep patterns. Sleep benefits the mind in many, many ways. It gives the brain chance to lock in memories and enhance the ability for you to learn new skills. Current research suggests that sleep disturbances, things like sleep apnea, inconsistent sleep times, and a poor sleep environment may be linked to a greater risk of developing dementia. During deep sleep, the brain's glymphatic system becomes highly active. This system is like a waste clearance network that flushes out neurotoxins, including beta amyloid and also tau proteins. These are all known to accumulate in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Let's see what the 5 times world's fittest man, Matt Fraser, has to say about the importance of sleep.
If sleep weren't a normal thing, it would be a banned substance. It is the most powerful thing that everyone has in their toolbox.
At number 9, Dr. Paulson explains that studies have shown that remaining socially active throughout your life may support brain health and possibly reduce your risk of developing dementia. Scheduling regular social outings to stay socially connected with friends and family, or choosing social activities that are meaningful to you, such as volunteering or practicing in community groups, can be of great help. Now, at number 10, Dr. Heidebrink explains how numerous studies have linked a history of depression to dementia in later life. Attending social activities and having hobbies can help ward off depression, and physical activity can help reduce stress. Now, this time when we talk about physical activity, we're not talking about scheduled exercises, going to the gym, swimming, running, cycling, etc. This is aimed at people who've eaten dinner, hopefully a whole food dinner, and then sit in front of the television or doom scroll on their mobile devices for the rest of the evening, usually accompanied by a glass or 2 of wine or beer. Now, I'm not saying don't relax at the end of a long day. What I am saying is try to challenge yourself mentally by playing cards or some other kind of activity. Or go for a 15 to 20 minute walk, which will help improve your blood sugar control and reduce insulin demand by helping your muscles absorb glucose. As well as supporting cardiovascular health, walking after a meal helps clear triglycerides from the bloodstream and also lowers your blood pressure. Up to 35% of dementia cases are preventable through lifestyle changes. Or are you happy to be part of the 65%? Let me know in the comments below. Is dementia one of the things that worries you as the years roll on?